hear these contentious cats primed for battle.
He's releasing a line of merchandise saying, I'm cashing in on hoism. He's won as many Oscars as Leo, too.
What the hell, Campbells? Andy Warhol didn't die for this.
Because for these women, their butts really are their moneymakers.
It will be a memorable movie for years to come.
I had to let that one go a little longer just to wail on her for a little bit.
Have you ever heard of that city? I haven't.
Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, and intersex folks around the world, and welcome to the December 1st, 2015 edition of Ames Tonight, ISUTV's entertainment and satirical comedy show. I am your co-host, Andreas Haffar.
And I'm your co-host, Laurel Feakes. Thanks for joining us on our last edition of the semester and of 2015. Ames Tonight started earlier this year, and we've come a long way, Andreas.
You know, we definitely have, Laurel. It has been a hell of a ride, and the pastures are already looking greener. Careful though, our futures are so bright we might need shades, and we might need sunscreen. You know what, just bring all your beach gear and prepare for our scorching destiny. Christmas in July? Ha! I prefer Independence Day in December. Shall we get started?
I'm waiting on you, man.
All right. Now, one of the biggest stories out of the Huffington Post today comes from around the world of Facebook, when CEO Mark Zuckerberg and wife Priscilla Chan gave away 99% of their Facebook stock, which is about $45 billion, following the birth of their daughter Max and the formation of the Chan-Zuckerberg Initiative. Now, this initiative is designed to promote equality for all children in the next generation, with personalized learning, curing disease, and building strong communities. Now, I know 'tis the season and all, but raising a child is expensive, I heard. What does this mean? It means I need to start making some babies.
Christmas is a time for cheer, eggnog, pine trees, and all-around happiness. But apparently a German supermarket did not get the age-old memo. Edeka released a holiday advertisement that features an old man trying to get his family together for the holidays. None of the family members can join him, so he eats his Christmas dinner alone. In a turn of events, the grandpa dies and his family goes to his house to presumably collect his things. The family notices his dinner table is set, and plot twist, old grandpa is alive. He tells them he didn't know how else to get them together. I'm not a parent, but I think there would have been an easier way to get the kids together than faking your own death.
Jeez. Well, as you may have noticed, and for those of you who don't, we're wearing our festive garments this evening. As it is the beginning of December, the countdown to the holidays begins today.
Hell yeah, it does. That means after midnight we have approximately 4 days until Hanukkah, 23 days until Christmas, 24 days until Kwanzaa, and a month until New Year's Day.
That's right, but let's not forget St. Lucia's Day in Sweden on December 13th, Eid Milad Nabi on December 24th, that's the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, and of course there's Boxing Day, celebrated by the United Kingdom and former British colonies, which is on December 26th as well.
What a month to be alive.
Yes, what a month to be alive. Now, as many of you know, Black Friday, the materialistic kickoff to some of the countdowns we just mentioned, the holiday countdowns, was just this past week. Now, for some, Friday couldn't come soon enough, now could it? That's right, JCPenney, I'm looking at you. And you too, Coles. But they weren't the only early birds, therefore they did not get the popular avian breakfast meal of the proverbial worm. No, those stores only opened at 6 in the evening on Thanksgiving, which is suspiciously close to dinner time, don't you think? Interesting. Now, Victoria's Secret also opened at 6 in the evening, and that makes sense. Forget dinner time. You can't simply wait an extra day to wear that ever so identifiable pink sweatshirt. Now, gentlemen, they forgot all about the football games on TV simply because they couldn't wait 24 hours for their wives or their girlfriends to put on those seductive thongs, thus satisfying each other's sexual appetites for that one single day. The secret is out, Vicky. Open up earlier for the nymphos and material girls. Gotcha. I'm with you there because who am I kidding? Victoria's Secret is awesome. It's just not a secret anymore. I mean, yeah. Now, there were more guilty culprits on Turkey Day, like Radio Shack, and yes, that does still exist. It opened at 8 a.m. Now, Dollar General and the Family Dollar, they opened up shop at 7 in the morning, which is pretty damn early. But which store was the earliest? Take a guess. Too late. Kmart. Kmart takes the cake. It opened at 6 in the bloody morning. Do people seriously function at that time of day? 6 a.m. for me would be like an extension of my nightly excursion out on the town. Not a time to go to work or a time to fight heathens for half-price toilet paper. You know, it seems like a desperate move on Kay's part. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. Now, I should mention there were other stores with furniture sales, such as Barnes & Noble, REI, and TJ Maxx. And I respect the hell out of their decision. It's a holiday for crying out loud. But hey, did you guys notice that Petco and PetSmart weren't open? What? They were open on Thanksgiving. I mean, that's speciesism, man. Every dog has his day. Not true. False. Not if it's Thanksgiving. What if I, me, wanted a mouse for half of the price? I have to wait till the next day to get my discounted rodent? I live in America, damn it. I shouldn't have to wait for this stuff. Ugh. Vote Trump. There was, however, a negative outcome on Black Friday, too. Damn it, there always is. Now, just like in 2012, this Black Friday was not so awesome Friday, which in my self-proclaimed and official-ish title of this year's Friday after Thanksgiving. Why? Well, unfortunately, it didn't go as well as we might have hoped for. America's finest news source, The Onion, has reported again that 42 million Americans died as a result of the shallow day. Now, I quote from the article that one man said, "Well, it started as a chance to get in on some irresistible post-Thanksgiving day deals. It quickly escalated into a merciless, no-holds-barred fight to the death. I mean, when you drop the price of an Xbox One to $300, it's virtually a steal. You'd be stupid not to go for it. And because of this insanely great deal, and others like it, shoppers see red. They foam from the mouth. They yell gibberish, and they stampede like wildebeest. It was every man and woman for themselves on NSA Friday. Sad. Well, we thank The Onion for that possibly true report on Not So Awesome Friday."
Cyber Monday is known for that they're better than Black Friday. To be honest, my inner suburban female came out every time I got an email from Express saying that I could take 50% off their $400 coat. You know, a deal is a deal. Anyway, one of the hottest items of 2015 is the hoverboard. And while the deals were aplenty on the hoverboard, I expected the price to decrease more after learning that there have been reports of the scooter spontaneously combusting. Yes, that is correct. A man in Alabama posted a video of his hoverboard igniting under his feet. The fact that it blew up wasn't enough for him to say no to ever buying one again, though. He plans on purchasing a new one from a different manufacturer.
Well, switching gears here, let's look to the future where people are doing even crazier things, like working hard and studying. Iowa State had the week-long Thanksgiving break, past week, and we're all back here to complete the final stretch of the semester. Now, this week is pretty much abundance of projects to make your head and your ass explode week. Because professors are so out of the loop that they haven't the slightest clue that the students have other classes. I mean, 3 credits a semester. Oh man, well, aren't you an overachiever? That's right, professor. I am a barely anytime student, and I have complete and utter devotion to your Journalism 201 class, which is not that hard.
All right, let's jump in the DeLorean and fly deeper into the future. Next week is Dead Week. There are many different interpretations to what exactly Dead Week is used for, but the general consensus is that it's to study for your final exams. ISU club activities like those of ISUtv and, more importantly, Ames Tonight are done for the semester and won't be meeting. Many students tend to behave in an unhealthy manner during these times too, like drinking excessively. I'm talking about coffee and energy drinks. That's liquid cocaine right there, but It's perfectly legal, and it's being used to assist
Thank you.
students in pulling all-nighters. Then there are students who become hermits in Park's library. Andreas, have you ever seen Joe Spunk?
I haven't seen him lately.
I didn't think so. That's because he went to the 7th tier of the library, and we haven't seen him since. Do you know why?
No.
It's because final exams and tests tell everyone in the world exactly what kind of person you are, and if you fail, you're doomed. Who you are on paper is the primary reflection of you as a person. Here's a suggestion. How about you do well in the class so you don't have to rely on your final to determine your grade? Easier said than done, of course, but for those of you who don't show up to class, excuses are like asses. We've all got them.
Okay, all right. Now, before we go to break, let me apologize on behalf of the assless people out there. We meant no offense, all right? Even those who are literally freezing their asses off in this weather. Oh my God, I'm so done. I can't even. Fun fact. Most people have asses, and damn good ones, too.
You're ridiculous. Stay tuned, folks, because after the break, we have Matt Banwart and Taylor Claybon with the nightly news. You're watching Ames Tonight.
Hello, my name is Matt Banwart, and I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and your talking dog.
Hello, it's me, Taylor Claybon, and this is your nightly news.
Recent studies in Britain have shown that excessive Christmas lights can cause up to a 25% drop in Wi-Fi speeds, which is fine because I personally believe in Buddy the Elf's philosophy that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loudly for all to hear. A couple from Brooksville, Florida are going to jail for stealing an 11-year-old girl's $5 bill at a local Dollar General store. In the couple's defense, she was holding it and taunting, "Na na 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 boo boo, you can't have this."
The 9th annual Andy Albright Memorial Jingle Jog will take place this Friday at 5:30 p.m. Participants will run 2 miles around campus during Winterfest to raise money for scholarships at Iowa State. Students are encouraged to dress up in costumes. So basically, we pay $20 for a t-shirt, frostbite, and asthma attacks. But hey, it's all for a good cause.
A 32-year-old man in Louisiana stabbed both of his parents to death when they went to McDonald's and didn't order him food. Said the man's siblings, "This is almost as bad as the time they botched his order." Although the man was caught, officers would still like to remind you all that the Hamburglar is on the loose and still at large. He could strike at any time. Staying on the topic of sandwiches, recent observations in Greece show that many prostitutes are selling themselves for the price of a sandwich. And man, you wouldn't believe what you could get if you were to add a side of a sandwich, a side of chips and a drink.
It really is the season for giving. A couple dropped a check into a Salvation Army red kettle in Minneapolis on Saturday. The check is worth $500,000. That's right, 5 with 5 zeros. This generous couple just donated about $499,980 more than I will be spending on my entire family this Christmas. But hey, it's the thought that counts, right?
As many are already aware, Paul Rhodes, former head coach of Cyclone football, has been told to hit the road after ending his career with an ISU loss against West Virginia University. This has left many fans asking, what will happen to Battery Boy? Many wonder if the powerhouse duo are inseparable or if a heart-wrenching breakup between the two is inevitable. Battery Boy has stood by Paul Rhodes' side faithfully for 3 agonizing seasons of Cyclone football, and you'd hate to see him discharged like this. We hope you guys enjoyed the nightly news.
Stay tuned for the Ladies Lounge and the Common Man's movie review.
Welcome back, folks, to Ames Tonight. I'm Jared Calvert, and as soon as we get some things figured out, we will have a Common Man's movie review. But first, let me get this thing off. I'm not really Santa Claus, but I am ready for the holiday season, so I said, why not wear a Santa suit, go to ugly sweater parties, and who knows, maybe some people will sit on my lap and ask me what they want for Christmas. So, with that being said, ho ho ho, welcome back. Tonight, I will be giving you my naughty and nice list of 2015 movies. This year, I've seen 25 newly released movies, and I have taken some time to reflect on them. So I now present to you the Common Man's 2015 movie rankings. Number 25 and at the top of my naughty list is Taken 3. The first Taken film was probably one of my favorite action thrillers of all time. Taken 2 was still good, though I figured the bad guys would have learned their lesson the first time around and not taken any more of Liam Neeson's family members. Taken 3 went in a completely different direction than the first 2 films, and it was like trying to watch an old man escape from a nursing home. I hope Mr. Neeson never sees this, because I know he'll look for me, he'll find me, and he'll give me a stern talking to. But Taken 3 was the worst film of 2015 for me. Number 24 is Scorch Trials, the sequel to The Maze Runner. The reason this film is number 2 on my naughty list is because I made the mistake of reading the books before seeing the movie. The movie is a great action film, but it follows the book about as well as an alcoholic follows a straight line. Number 23 is Insurgent, the sequel to Divergent. I like and dislike this film for many of the same reasons as The Scorch Trials, but it does a slightly better job of following the book. Number 22 is Pixels. This film wasn't too bad, considering I had incredibly low expectations. Adam Sandler was the hero, Michelle Monaghan was his leading lady, and Kevin James was president. Josh Gad and the midget from Game of Thrones were also there for support. Overall, this is a typical mediocre Adam Sandler movie, deserving the number 4 spot on my naughty list. Number 21, Sharknado 3. Oh, hell no. This sci-fi original is on the same level as Jersey Shore in terms of hate watching. I love watching how terrible these movies have become. Just when you think things haven't gotten ridiculous enough, they find an insanely new way of killing sharks, this time from space. It may be number 5 on my naughty list, but it's a movie that knows it's bad, making it so much better. Number 20, San Andreas. And I'm not talking about San Andreas, where Andreas Haffar is from. I'm talking about San Andreas, California. All right? So The Rock Johnson is my favorite person on social media, but this movie was kind of ridiculous. His daughter on screen was played by the smoking hot Alexandra Daddario, but this film has a very thin plot. It's basically an hour and a half of California earthquakes. I saw this movie in 3D, which made it a worthwhile watch, though. This movie completes my naughty list for films this year. So moving into the nice list is number 19, Pitch Perfect 2. The first Pitch Perfect movie was ruined for me because I saw it after my friends had told me how good it was and how good the Cup song was, and raised my expectations to astronomical levels. Watching the sequel is similar to watching The Hangover 2. A lot of the same things happen in the second film that happens in the first. Girls sing, guys sing, the girl group wins the competition. The only difference is that there are more celebrity appearances in this film. It's a good movie, but I wouldn't say it was awesome. Number 18, Vacation. Christina Applegate and Ed Helms brought the 21st century humor to this series that was popular in the 80s. This movie is filled with several raunchy moments, one-liners, and celebrity appearances, including Thor, Chris Hemsworth. It also persuaded me to re-listen to the song Kiss from a Rose by Seal. Number 17, Get Hard. I was excited when I saw the first trailer for this film. Two of my favorite comedic actors, Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, working together to get hard. It's the recipe for excess. Unfortunately, I psyched myself out too much, and for some reason, I don't find this movie as funny as much as others. It's funny, but not as funny as The Wedding Ringer, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Number 16, Everest. I reviewed this film earlier in the year, but to repeat myself, this was a pretty good movie. The film had a dark ending, but it maintained my attention the entire time. That surprised me, seeing how it was a movie about climbing. Number 15, Bridge of Spies. This is a potential Oscar contender, but it can put you to sleep in a hurry if you've had a long day. Tom Hanks does a great job portraying James Donovan, an insurance lawyer asked to mediate the negotiations of a prisoner exchange between the U.S. and Soviet during the Cold War. Great plot and great characters, but I still dozed off watching it in theaters. Number 14, Focus. This movie is filled with so many surprises and reveals, it's like watching a really, really good magician. Will Smith plays a con man named Nicky, who shows a girl named Jess, played by the absolutely gorgeous Margot Robbie, how to take other people's money and valuables. Just when you think a plan is doomed in this movie, the tables turn so fast, it smacks you upside the head. I guess there's a reason this movie is called Focus. Number 13, 50 Shades of Grey. Technically, this film should be on the naughty list, but compared to the other film adaptations of books I've seen this year, 50 Shades of Grey does the best job of accurately portraying the events in the book. That's right, I read the books. Get over it. Number 12, The Martian. Matt Damon gets stranded on Mars, then, spoiler alert, he survives. I knew he was going to survive because he's Matt freaking Damon. But it is pretty neat to see just how he does it, from growing to potatoes to flying like Iron Man. The Martian is truly out of this world. Da-ding. Number 11, The Wedding Ringer. I said earlier that I like this film better than Get Hard. The reason is because this film has a more lovable plot, goofier characters, and better Kevin Hart jokes. I also had lower expectations of the film, so I was more easily entertained compared to watching Get Hard. Number 10, Kingsman, The Secret Service. I was pretty impressed by the trailer for this film, expecting an action film. The movie is actually a whole lot more. Taron Egerton is a street kid who gets recruited to join a secret spy organization called the Kingsmen. With a cast including major hitters, including Samuel L. Jackson, Colin Firth, and Michael Caine, this movie is a funny, exciting, and a little heartwarming. Number 9, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. You'd think that after 4 movies, there wouldn't be any more missions to be deemed impossible. Wrong! Tom Cruise reprised the role of Ethan Hunt, the leader of a secret organization of spies set to destroy the world. It almost got confusing trying to sort out who's playing who, but Paramount Pictures nails a fifth Mission Impossible movie. Number 8, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. It's almost been 4 years since I read the books, and it felt like it's been a drag waiting for these movies to be released. Finally, the last of them has been, and it ended exactly as I expected to. There were also all of the typical elements of a good Hunger Games movie. Jennifer Lawrence kissing a guy, Jennifer Lawrence awkwardly yelling, and of course, my favorite, Jennifer Lawrence awkwardly crying. It's been a good run, but I'm glad this series is finally over. Number 7, Furious 7. After 6 movies, Dominic Toretto and Brian O'Connor still find reasons to drive fastly and furiously. You expect this film to be over the top with chase scenes, battles involving pimped out vehicles, and ridiculously awesome one-liners from Dwayne Johnson. It's the end of the movie, though, that gets you emotionally, as Universal and the cast of the franchise say goodbye to the late Paul Walker. It's those emotions stirred by the ending that make this movie a top film this year. Although I'm going to hesitate to agree with Vin Diesel in saying that it will win Best Picture at the Oscars. Number 6, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This film combines comedy and action similar to The Kingsman. However, this movie has a much deeper plot along with cleverer characters, aka Henry Cavill. And number 5, Ant-Man. Paul Rudd delivers a huge performance as Marvel's tiniest superhero, and a film that went through a bunch of drama in the writing and production process. This movie delivers a grounding origin story that relieves the pressure felt from the epicness of previous Marvel movies. It even had enough success to earn a sequel in 2017. Number 4, Jurassic World. It was hard for me to get incredibly excited about the Jurassic Park movies originally, basically because I don't really care about dinosaurs. However, I was a big fan of Jurassic World because it brought back some of the classic elements of the first Jurassic Park movie, which actually made me kind of like it. This movie then reignites any excitement or even interest one could have in dinosaurs. It stars Chris Pratt as well, the funny tubby guy transformed into handsome, hilarious badass. Number 3, Spectre. I spent 2 segments on James Bond movies, so I don't need to explain why I like this awesome movie. Number 2, Ted 2. I'm a guy who enjoys a good raunchy comedy, and in this sense, Seth MacFarlane knows the way to my heart. No topic is safe from becoming a punchline in this movie, as Ted and his best friend John, played by Mark Wahlberg, try to prove that Ted is a person. They recruit the help of Sam L. Jackson, actually played by Amanda Seyfried, and Patrick Meighan, played by Morgan Freeman. This movie will have anyone that's not easily offended crying from laughter. And at the top of my nice list is none other than The Avengers: Age of Ultron. I geek out over any kind of development in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and this movie delivers a heavy dosage of just that. This film represents one of the best villains in the MCU, minus Loki, and introduces 3 new heroes: Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision. This film not only provides an action-packed adventure, but it also serves as the stepping stone into the 3rd phase of the MCU, which currently comprises of 12 films. More specifically, it leads up to Avengers: Infinity War. So there you have it, my ranking of naughty and nice movies in 2015. I hope you have enjoyed my reviews, and I'll be back next semester if Andreas Haffar allows it. Have a Merry Christmas and a tolerable finals week. This has been a Common Man's Movie Review. I'm Jared Calvert, and I'm just a common man in an uncommon land. Ladies?
Well, that has been your guide to Christmas parties, and it would be great if you could now place your attention on us.
Sorry, I've been hitting the juice a little hard.
Yep, a little too hard.
Welcome to Ladies Lounge. Unfortunately, Laurel and Andy aren't here this week, but don't worry, Katie, Lee, and Coda will take great care of you.
Thank you, Coda. Tonight we'll have your guide to pulling off a great Christmas party. Laurel, will you pop that sparkling apple grape juice? Classy, not trashy.
Always pregame before your party. Hit the nog and hit it hard.
No one is going to help clean up, so let's be real, don't even ask.
No one will judge you if you drink an entire bottle of mixed Moscato, as long as you break out into Lady Gaga's holiday classic, Christmas Tree.
Decorations should be top-notch, and you should probably hire your mother to help you with that.
Always eat before, during, and after your party. Soak up that nog.
If things get catty, invent a drinking game, preferably Santa-themed.
Treat your holiday party as if it was at the office. What happens at the Christmas party stays at the Christmas party.
And, I mean, let's be real, people at Christmas parties, it's never a good sign if you're already, like, divorced or if you have some issues going on.
Have that floor cleaner ready because you know someone's gonna yak. And you know what? Don't forget about you. You have needs too. This means getting your proper bottle and a half of wine and full dinner. Sally doesn't really need you to go and get her another ginger ale. You need to eat because you are becoming an absolute monster.
And finally, listen to Adele at the end of the night. No one needs a pre-party cry sesh, but one with all your besties surrounding you and a giant love hug. Listening to the voice of an angel is respectable at the end of a stressful evening. That's all for you that we have for you right now. Please stay tuned to our special goodbye at the end. Stay tuned.
Well, folks, this is our last show of the semester, and as you were saying, thank you for sticking with us through technical difficulties and such. But it's been a good year. Ames tonight, as we were talking about, started in 2015. And it's not going to end in 2015. It's going to go on. I should stop drinking. It's going to go on for years to come, hopefully. So thank you, ladies, if you want to say anything.
No, thanks for sticking with us, and have a good weekend.
We'll see you next year, Ames.